Okay, good afternoon, children. Once again, welcome to the new IIT webinar class regarding the first year classes we are starting right now. So, the first topic of atomic structure onwards we are starting. So, already you listened the classes regarding the IPE classes, and as well as most probably most of the students they got a knowledge regarding what atomic structure, basics regarding atoms, structure of atom, and how the structure of atom will be fundamental particles, the models, atomic models, as well as quantum numbers, different theories will be there, Heisenberg, de Broglie. These are all you aware of that, I think so. Why? Because already this was completed for both second year and as well as first year completed children, both they'll have good knowledge. Why? Because from the starting 10th class onwards, we are well known about this lesson. Okay. So if we'll see here, this concept, what we are discussing, the atomic structure, it will be playing a very important role in the chemistry subject. Why? Because the basic things we are starting from here, and what is atom, and what are the fundamental particles are present in that. So with that, those particles only, the remaining chemistry will be having the interlinkage. Okay. So because of that reason, this is a very important lesson, and definitely we can expect the questions every time in IIT as well as what NEET and MSET. Moreover, most of the competitive examinations which are interrelated with intermediate, definitely this lesson we can expect the questions from this lesson. Okay. So because of that reason, we have to give more priority to this lesson, especially based on the quantum numbers as well as transition states between the different energy levels. We can expect the questions from that topics from this lesson majorly. Okay. So, okay, children. Right. Atomic structure, key concepts now we are having in this. So, atomic structure, key concepts, if we'll see, we are not discussing regarding the theory topics like IPE topics will be. So majorly what I'll tell you, especially what are the concepts will be available in this lesson, and based on that concept, what are the major important points are available in that lesson, in the topic will be. So based on that topic and a concept as well as some formulas in a sweet and short way, we will go through that. Okay. So what are the key concepts if we'll see here? About the discovery of the electron we are having, proton as well as neutron is here. Thomson, this means what about the discovery of electron? Who discovered electron, proton, neutron? Those you know very well. And the mass of the electron, relative charge. So these are all will be that. Second one, if we'll see Thomson model, Rutherford model, and Bohr atomic models. These are the models will be which are available in this lesson. Similarly, important features of the quantum mechanical model. So which is a well-known model, which is a quantum mechanical model, important features. And every model for in every model, what are the specifications the model can have? What are the postulates? What are the merits and what are the demerits? And after the demerits, again, one new theory has emerged in order to overcome the demerits which are emerged in the earlier theory. So every theory has merits and demerits. Similarly, what electromagnetic radiation and Planck's quantum theory is also here. Planck's quantum theory. Okay, electromagnetic radiation. So its wavelength. What is the relation between energy and frequency? How the wavelength and what are the units for the wavelength? What are the units for the frequency? What is the relation between those both? E proportional to mu is equal to h mu. Those are the equations. Okay. After that, next one will be what photoelectric effect we are having, as well as and describing of features of atomic spectra. Spectra we can have of what splitting of spectral lines. You're getting the lines in hydrogen spectrum, Lyman Balmer, Paschen bracket, Fund series, as well as continuous spectrum, discontinuous spectrum, line spectra, band spectra. So these are all atomic spectra, molecular spectra. These are all based on those. Based on that, we are having some energy formulas. One electron jumps from another level to one level to another level. So at that time, what is the energy? What is the radius? Okay, what is the total energy? These are having some formulas, minus 13.6 into n square, like that. So many formulas are that we will come in further slides will be. Okay. So that is regarding what fifth point will be key concept. And the next one is what de Broglie relation and Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Everybody knows it. Lambda is equal to h by mv. And Heisenberg uncertainty principle, delta x into delta p is greater than or equal to h by mv. That we know that. And after that, quantum numbers will be. Quantum numbers, we know that we have 4 quantum numbers in LMS to propose those. And after that, principles regarding the electronic configurations, how the electrons are going to be filled in the given atomic orbitals based on the energy levels, how the energy of the atomic orbital is going to be enhanced or decreases from the nucleus. From the nucleus onwards, if we are increasing the shells, how the energy have been raised or otherwise energy has been reduced. Based on that, we are having some principles. Based on the principles, we can fill the electrons in the atomic orbitals. Okay, like Aufbau principle, Pauli's exclusion principle, Hund's principle, and rule of maximum multiplicity, as well as how can we write the electronic configuration of the atoms based on the rules as well as the energy of the orbitals, based on the energy of the orbitals. So majorly these are the concepts we will discuss in this chapter. So we need to know initially what are the topics we have and where we need to concentrate in this lesson. Especially we need to concentrate in this lesson, children, majorly what especially on quantum numbers, and as well as splitting of spectral lines and energy of the electron when it is jumps from one level to another level, and radius, calculation of radius, calculation of energy, and as well as what quantum numbers. So orbitals, wave functions, and after that Schrodinger wave equation also will come. So based on that, some questions will be there. Those we will discuss in the coming slides. Okay, children. So these are the major key concepts we are having in this lesson. So if we'll go to the next slide, just a small information I'll give you. Why? Because it's not the IPE class to discuss the total theory will be. So we need to know that the discoveries majorly, the fundamental particles, if you'll see here, electron is the first one. It is discovered by J.J. Thomson. And after that, proton by Goldstein, neutron by Chadwick. These are the 3 fundamental particles we are having. And proton and neutron, both we can observe in the nucleus. Electrons are continuously rotating around the positively charged nucleus. Based on the theories, we already aware of that. So atom is invented by Mr. John Dalton, who is proposed the first theory, I think so. And as well as cathode rays. Cathode rays are invented by William Crookes. And E by M of electron. The E by M value of electron can be invented by Mr. J.J. Thomson, discovered by. And after that, principal quantum number is given by Bohr, Niels Bohr, that is mentioned here. L is the azimuthal quantum number that is given by Sommerfeld. And M is the magnetic quantum number that is given by Zeeman. And lambda is also there, but it's not mentioned there. M in the place of M will be. And the last quantum number, spin quantum number, if we'll see here, Gaudsmit and Uhlenbeck is there. These are the what major particles and as well as major terminology which we are using in this lesson. And who discovered those, like electron, like J.J. Thomson, like that. Positron, if we have seen that what it is discovered by Mr. C.D. Anderson. Meson, that is Yukawa. Neutrino, Pauling. Antiproton, that is what this Segre will be. Anode rays are Goldstein. You can observe here. Cathode rays are William Crookes. Anode rays are Goldstein will be. Okay. So an atomic number, if you will see, mostly, you know very well. Mostly modern periodic table already, you know, in the first year and as well as 10th class also, every student, they know that. Mostly will be modern periodic table we have seen. And E by M of electron is discovered by J.J. Thomson. Similarly, A by M of proton is discovered by Goldstein. Once you see here, a relation we can observe here. Electron is discovered by J.J. Thomson in the first case. Similarly, here E by M value of electron also discovered by J.J. Thomson. Proton is discovered by Mr. Goldstein. Similarly, the E by M value of the proton is also discovered by Mr. Goldstein only. So these are what majorly preliminary information, who discovered which fundamental particle, who discovered the quantum number. This is what about the inventories and discoveries. Okay. After that, you see, children, the basic structure of a atom, how it will be existed. You'll see clearly. This is what the yellow color lines, what we are representing here, like this in a path like this in an oval shape. If we'll observe clearly, yellow color lines are there. Once you observe clearly here, these are what we can call, these are what orbitals will be. And whatever the red color and blue color balls which are existed exactly in the middle of this atom, those are what protons. The red color balls is represented with what a proton will be. Here you can observe the red color ball is represented with proton, and blue color balls whatever will be present here, those are will be neutrons in this. And in the orbitals, if you observe this in the orbits, you will see clearly what orbits will be. These are orbits will be. In these orbits, the pink color balls, those are electrons are rotating like this. Once you see here, these are rotating like this. These are rotating like this. So in their desired manner, they are rotating continuously. So these are what electron orbits. These are electron orbits, and these are electrons. These pink color balls, what we are representing here, those are what electrons will be. And the protons and nucleons, protons and neutrons both will be present at the center of the atom, will be located here. That can be called as what it will be nucleus. So inside the nucleus, both proton and neutron both will be present here. So because of that reason, combinedly these proton and as well as neutrons, whatever it will be present in the nucleus, that's why because of that reason, those can be called or what are nucleons. Combinedly we can call it. So what are the nucleons here? Proton and neutron are called nucleons. Why? They are presenting in the nucleus. In the nucleus, this proton and neutron is there. So because of that reason, combinedly they can be called or what are nucleons, children. Okay, fine then. We will go with another slide. So children, you can observe here a beautiful orientation I am representing here. That is what structure of atom and how the electrons are continuously revolving around the nucleus will be. So once you observe, whatever the orange color and green color balls are located middle of the atom, that is what here it will be. This is middle of the atom will be. Once you observe here, middle of the atom. So the middle of the atom, this what neutrons and protons will be present here. It can be called as the nucleus. Around this positively charged nucleus, nucleus contains which charge? Positive charge. Around this positive charged nucleus, these are called orbitals. These yellow color lines, once you see, electrons are rotating continuously like this. So electrons are rotating like this. Yes or no? So because of this, the reason what electrons are continuously rotating. By means what we can say that electrons are negatively charged electrons are continuously rotating around the positively charged nucleus, and this nucleus contains of what? This nucleus contains of protons and neutrons. Combinedly they can called or what nucleons will be. So this is regarding the structure of atom, and electron where it is rotating continuously, that is an orbit it will be. So this is what the structure of atom, the basic representation, how the structure of atom will be present here. And after that, we'll go with the questions, because what a preliminary information I have given, most probably almost I have given, but somewhat any other is there. We will see in the next slide. What is that? Okay, these are the atomic models proposed by different chemists, like 460. That is year of 460. That is what before Christ, I think so it will be. So Democritus, the structure of atom in a different shapes he was mentioned. Once you see, it is a cube shape, it will be there in different shapes, it is there. But in the year of 1803, John Dalton was mentioned. It is what a circular model, which is atom is an indivisible particle, he said. That's here we know that. In the year of 1987, Mr. J.J. Thomson, he said the plum pudding model, or a beautiful watermelon model. We know that regarding the seeds and the red color part, how it will be embedded in the watermelon. In the similar manner, the red color part completely is compared with the, and the seeds are completely compared with the different charges will be. Positive part he considered as a red color part, and the seeds are he considered as what a negative parts will be in the watermelon. That was represented here in the Thomson model will be. Okay, and after that, Rutherford. Now we have seen atomic structure, how the electrons are rotating in an orbit, like around the positively charged nucleus. These negatively charged electrons are rotating like this. In the year of 1912, he is the student of Mr. J.J. Thomson. Mr. Rutherford will be, and his student Mr. Niels Bohr, he explained this theory a positively charged nucleus will be located at the center of the atom. Around this around this nucleus, positive charged nucleus, electrons are moving in a circular path in their without losing their energy in the circular path. Those circular paths can be called our shells. Those can be represented with the KLMNO 1, 2, 3, 4 like that we know very well. And how the energy will be, how they can lose the energy. Those are all the points we know, that merits and demerits, and every theory we know that. And finally, we got a theory of what in the year of 1930, Albert Einstein and Heisenberg, as well as Feynman and Mr. Planck. But these are all the scientists given a very good explanation regarding the atom structure, how the wave functions are there, and a moving particle, how it can behave like a wave, and what it can have in a three-dimensional manner, as along with the Cartesian parts will be. Completely explanation is given by the Heisenberg and by with the Schrodinger wave equation also based on the Crompton effect. These are all the theories come into the consideration, and a structure of atom will be completely explained in a well and good manner. Okay, children. After that, so these are the major values we need to remember while doing the problems in this lesson. Let's make an eye on this. We'll see subatomic particles and some of their properties. We'll see here neutron and proton and electron 3 are mentioned clearly. In this, the absolute charge of neutron will be 0. Proton will be mentioned plus 1.6 into 10 to the power of minus 19. As well as similarly, this electron is the same, but the charge is different. Relative charge, if you see neutron, will be 0. It is plus 1. Why? Because proton contains a positive charge. Electron is minus 1 will be. And the mass of every fundamental particle, if you have seen 1.675 into 10 to the power of minus 27. Similarly, proton will be 1.673 into 10 to the power of minus 27. As well as electron, if we'll see 9.11 into 10 to the power of minus 31, it is here. As well as in relative mass, in atomic mass units, if we'll see one atomic mass unit here, it was mentioned 1.67 into 10 to the power of minus 27. Clearly, it was mentioned. In atomic mass units, if we'll see 1.0087 AMU, it is a relative mass of what? Neutron will be. This is a relative mass of the neutron. And the relative mass of the proton will be here what? 1.0073 will be. Electron, if we'll see here, that's what 0. It is 0.0054858 atomic mass units clearly mentioned. Relative mass and relative charge in the next table, it was mentioned proton 1 and plus 1, neutron 1 and 0, and relative mass of the electron 1 by 8060, and after what? Minus 1 will be. This is what relative charges, relative masses, and as well as mass. So this is a table regarding the fundamental particles. They have some values regarding that. So, okay, children, this is the time to discuss the questions from the lesson. We are starting. We came to discuss the questions right now. So, just directly, we are not getting into the questions like what exactly directly into the problematic part. First of all, we'll go through the questions which is starting from the key concepts will be. So what are the key concepts? Majorly, if you'll observe what, first of all, the word regarding the fundamental particles, how they have emerged, whom they have invented, whom invented those models will be, those particles, how they are invented, and what are the conditions are required. So based on that, we have some questions. Okay. So first question is what? Anode rays were discovered by, he's asking. So already in the table, it was mentioned. Anode rays and cathode rays, as well as electrons and protons, as well as what meson and positron. This was clearly mentioned in the table, given table. Yes or no? So based on previous knowledge, what we have based on that, we can easily identify that anode rays are discovered by. So if we'll see cathode rays, we can know that clearly Rutherford, and as well as what? Cathode rays are negative charged rays, and anode rays are positive rays. And it was mentioned clearly. Goldstein, already I told. Goldstein, proton, and J.J. Thomson, those are what electron will be. So if we'll see here, J.J. Stoney, it was here. Rutherford is here. J.J. Thomson is here. options, if you can see clearly, there is no concept in this. Direct answer will be. Why? Because the person he is invented that anode rays will be. He is Mr. Goldstein will be. So Goldstein is the anode rays. First question. Starting from what we are taking a normal questions. How what not only directly we are getting into the problems and HOTS. That means what higher order problems we are not discussing directly. But we will go from starting onwards, from the fundamental concepts onwards. Okay. So this first anodes were discovered by Mr. Goldstein. Okay, children. All right. After that, next question is in front of us. That's what we will see clearly. Who was discovered? So Chadwick, if we have seen what is the person who invented the Newton, that we know very well. And Rutherford proposed a model, atomic model will be. And the answer is already, it was mentioned in the table. That's what Anderson. Anderson is the scientist that discovered the positron. And the year of 1932, clearly it was mentioned in the given table in the previous slide that we know very well. Yes or no? Yes. After that, so Chadwick, we know that neutron invented by Mr. Chadwick, electron invented by J.J. Thomson, and proton invented by Goldstein. That we know very well. So based on that, we can say that as what? Anderson is the person who invented what? Another question, previous question came here. Okay. So Anderson is the scientist who discovered the positron. Will be. Okay. In which element does not possess any neutrons will be. So in which element it does not possess a neutron. So actually we need to know that first of all, in order to discuss the question, what are the symbols we can give for in order to calculate the number of electrons and as well as number of protons as well as number of neutrons present in that in a given atom it will be. If we'll see clearly atomic mass, how can we calculate, as well as what is Z, what is A, what is N. What these, if we will know that, we can easily calculate the number of electrons and number of protons, number of neutrons present in that. Okay, so first of all we need to know that as what is Z. Z is nothing but, everybody knows that this is nothing but, Z is nothing but the number of protons, and as well as that represents the atomic number present in that, as well as A is the mass number will be, that we are going to write on the top of the element, and Z we are going to write as the atomic number will be. Okay, A, Z, these are all we are going to write. Okay, so based on that, if we see helium, so first of all, what is the first element? A, hydrogen or protium we can call it. How many number of electrons will be present in that? One electron will be. How many number of protons will be present in that? One proton will be. Okay, helium if we see. So A minus Z, if we will see that hydrogen, atomic mass will be 1, atomic number will be 1. A minus Z, if we will see that 0, we are going to get number of neutrons are 0. Helium 2 minus 1, that's 1 we are getting. Beryllium, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, atomic number is 4. So what we are going to get the number, but not as 0. Carbon 12 minus 6, it will be 6 will be. So we are not getting in case of only hydrogen, that is 1 minus 1 is equals to 0 will be. So directly we can say that as what? Hydrogen or protium we can say that. But you have to remember, children, who knows regarding the calculation of mass number, protons number, number of protons, atomic number, A, Z, N. This relationship, who knows that, they can only do the problem. That means what I'm saying, we are discussing the questions in this, but without knowing the formula, without knowing the concept, you can't do anything. So you have to do what? Must and should. You go through the lesson first of all. While listening the class, before the class, or after the class, you complete your concept once. Okay. Again, if you have any doubts, you can ask in the Telegram. Okay. Why? Because I'm saying like this means without mentioning the formulas means what is the reason behind of this? We have already completed the lesson in the college. Yes or no? We have already completed the lesson in the classes. That's why I'm saying like this. Okay. So the next question. Dalton's model, Thomson's model, Rutherford model, and Bohr's model, Planck's quantum model, and quantum mechanical model. These are so many models are there. So regarding the model, one question is here. From which model we know that neutron placed in the center of an atom? Neutron placed in the center of an atom is asking. So options once you observe, children, Dalton's model is the option C he has given. Dalton says as what? According to the model of the Dalton, he said that there is no fundamental particle. The atom is the finest indivisible particle, he said. By means what? He did not say regarding the proton, neutron. So we can directly remove the option C will be. So Dalton model is removed easily. Next often after that, if we will see Thomson model. In the Thomson model, what? J.J. Thomson model, that is a plum pudding model or watermelon model. In that we see that as what? A positive part, red color part, that is and after that negative part, seeds are there. These are negative part and positive part only. The Thomson model is discussed. There is no any other particle is discussed in the Thomson model. And as well as what? So because of that reason, neutron is not present in the given Thomson model. So we can remove the option B will be. Now in front of us we have two models. That's what Rutherford model and as well as a Bohr's model. In these two models, if we'll see, according to the Rutherford model, we can see that directly neutron is placed in the center of an atom, which does not have a charge, like electron and proton. In the Bohr's model, if we'll see clearly, Niels Bohr explained clearly regarding the shell's energy levels and how the electron is rotating in a stationary orbits, why the energy is not losing, why the energy is not gaining in that. What transition is going on and what is the energy of the orbits will be, quantum numbers. These are all discussed in the Rutherford. Niels Bohr model will be. Okay. So because of that reason, we can choose the option as what? A Rutherford model. Okay. Cathode clearly it was mentioned what? A positively charged particles, negatively charged particles, neutral particles, and none of these is mentioned. So he's asking what? If we will see clearly, everybody, there may be a doubt of what saying the answer like what? Most of the students, they can choose. The option is what? Cathode rays are nothing but what? Anode rays are nothing but what? Cathode rays are in the sense are positive or negative? Definitely. Anode rays we are considering as positive particles and cathode rays are those are we can say that as what? Negative particles. Yes or no? So here the options as given as what? Positively charged particles, negatively charged particles, neutral particles, none of these. So here these many options are given. So we know that as what? Anode rays. We can know that anode rays are positively charged particles, but cathode rays are what? Negatively charged particles, that we know very well. So option is what? Negatively charged particles. Why? Because cathode rays having some charge. Yes or no? So there is no place is not there. That's why I kept the option is here. The answer will be, you can take it as what? B will be here, children. Okay. So cathode rays are made up of negatively charged particles. We are having two rays only, cathode rays and anode rays. So anode rays, we know that are positively charged rays and cathode rays are negatively charged rays. Because of that reason, the answer directly we can say that the cathode rays are made up of negatively charged particles known or we can call our electrons will be. So these are not neutral particles and none of these we cannot choose from the options. So directly we can choose the option as B will be, children. Because the non-availability of space, I kept the tick mark here, though did not consider it as the option will be C, the option will be D like that. So the option is what? B will be. Okay. After that, cathode rays are made up of, clearly it is a negatively charged particles called electrons. Next. So the question is here, one more question we are discussing right now. Penetration power of proton. So mostly we know that as what? Penetration power of electron we listen. Why? Because in second lesson, I think so, in periodic classification. Ionization potential factors. When we will read that, the penetration power, it will be there. One topic it will be there, which is affecting which is influencing the ionization potential. Like that, if you will observe there, penetration of power of electron, it will be observed there. But here the question is asking is what a penetration power of proton. So penetration of power, if proton is, he is asking more or less, or what he is mentioned based on the options. If we'll see here, penetration of power of proton will be more than the electron he is given, less than the electron he is given, more than the neutron he is given, so less none he has given. So it's not more than the electron, it's not less than the electron. So penetration power of the proton, that means what, the entering capacity, that is what existing, going and settling at one place, that is what penetrating, getting into that, going into that, that can be called as what penetration power will be. So the penetration power of the proton is always more than the neutron. Why? Because both will be existed in the nucleus only. Then the neutron, it can have more penetrating power, but we cannot compare with the electron. Why? Because it will be outside of the nucleus, it will be. So it's not more than the electron. Always electron penetration power will be more than the proton only will be there. Because of that reason, the option will be chosen as what, more than the neutron case. The penetration power of the proton will be more than the neutron. Okay, after that. So this is one of the different model we know that already. One is assertion and another one is reason is there. So the assertion, what he has given in the question, cathode rays do not travel in straight lines is given. Cathode rays do not travel in straight lines. Let once remember, children, the cathode ray tube experiment, CRT. Everybody knows that, I think so. Why? Because we have completed in the first year only. CRT, X-ray tube experiment, cathode ray tube experiment. If we have seen that, he's asking as what? Cathode rays do not travel in straight lines. Anywhere, anybody, any of the children, have you seen your teacher has drawn that cathode ray discharge tube experiment, which has done by Mr. Michael Faraday? When you observed in the first lesson, any other deviations are there? That means cathode rays, have you observed that any other directions they are moving lines? No, there is no chance. Cathode rays, definitely they can travel in a straight lines only. But he is mentioned as what? Cathode rays do not travel in straight lines. There is no covered path. There is no different path of the cathode rays. We are not observing a cathode ray tube experiment clearly. So that is a false statement he has given in the assertion. As well as reason, if we have seen, cathode rays penetrate through thick sheets. Yes, this was clearly given. So cathode rays are penetrate through the thick sheets will be, he's saying that. Okay, now. So the options he has given as what? Both are correct and explanation of the reason. Both assertion and reason is there. The answer is already there is what? Assertion is false, but reason is true. So the whatever the assertion, cathode rays do not travel in the straight lines, that's completely false. And cathode rays penetrate through the thick sheets also. This is what the previous AIMS question will be, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, which is useful for the NEET students. I mean, what major, which point of view they are asking the questions, we need to keep it in mind. Okay, so they are not travel. See, he is not asking any direct questions. The path of the race, they are in a straight line or in a curved path. It was not mentioned anywhere in the book. Just we have to think on the experiment. But those facts, what are the facts all involved in the experiments? What are the other conditions we may apply for the experiment? If those will be satisfied or not, that we need to check in the experiment. Okay, cathode rays penetrate through the thick sheets. Always every student will bother about what regarding how the experiment is going on, what screen is there, how they are invented, who they are invented, and how they are passing. Everybody will concentrate on that only. But he's asked the question regarding what? Whether they are traveling in a straight line or not. That anywhere it was not mentioned. It was going in a straight way. They are not going in a straight way. Likewise, it was not mentioned anywhere. But we have to concentrate on every aspect of the experiment. Okay. So the answer is what? Assertion is false, but reason is true. We can say that. Okay, children. After that. So the next one more question, which is asked in the AIMS, All India Institute of Medical Sciences, in the year of 2000, he's asking is what? The atoms of different elements having the same mass number, So he's asking regarding isotopes, isobars, and isotones. I think so. Okay, it was mentioned clearly. The atoms of different elements having same mass number but different atomic number are known as isobars. In order to do this question, first of all, every student should know that what is isotope, what is isobar, and what is isotone. Isotope means which can contain same number of protons in the given elements. Isobars in the sense which can contain same mass number, but different atomic number will be. Isotone contains what a different same number of neutrons and present in the given elements will be. Okay, but he has given in the assertion what the atoms of different elements might be having the same mass number that we required. They can have same mass number. If the elements can have the same mass number but a different atomic number are known as what? Isobar. Bar is one of the unit of the mass. That's why we are calling it isobars. Iso means same mass they can have. Okay, that's assertion what he has given. It is exactly correct. Why? Because the same mass number which are having with different elements we can call our isobars. That's fine. The reason what he's asking here, let's observe it. The sum of protons and neutrons is then the isobars is always different. Once you see clearly, so somewhat it is confusing. So the sum of protons and neutrons, sum of protons and neutrons, if we will see in the isobars, is always different. So x and y, both the elements, if we have taken, and we are doing the sum of protons and neutrons in x and sum of protons and neutrons in y, and they are having same mass number but a different atomic number. X atomic number will be some number and y atomic number will be some number, but they are having same mass number, he is saying. At the same time, the question is asking at what sum of the protons and neutrons in the isobar is always different. That might be different or not exactly different, always should not be different. Yes, they might be same or they might be different. He is not asking regarding the atomic number. He is asking about what? Sum of protons and neutrons. Sum of protons and neutrons might be same or might be different, but he is mentioned clearly what? Always. This is the word it was he is mentioned here, that is completely wrong. Because of that reason we can say that as what? So just okay, right. The sum of the protons and neutrons in the isobars is not always be different. Not always be different. Yes, different it might be, but not be always. Might be same also. So what option we can choose here? What is the assertion he has given? That is completely true, completely correct one. Which are having a same mass number, though can be called as isobars will be. But sum of protons and neutrons, if you will see that, that's not always different. Sometimes may be different, sometimes might be same also. Okay, so the answer is what? Assertion is true, but the reason is false. We are considering. Okay, right. Next question, one more assertion reason model which is asked in the year of 1998 in a IIT will be. So the assertion is what? Nuclide is less stable. Nuclides is less stable than, the question is not properly here. Nuclides having an odd number of protons and the neutrons are generally unstable, he has given. So the question is not clear, children. We'll go with the next question. Might be the question is not some letters are not there. We'll go with the next question. All right. The nature of anode rays depends upon. So anode rays nature will depends upon what? So we'll see different experiments, atomic models. If we'll see cathode ray discharge tube experiment as well as different experiments we have seen, and cathode rays nature will does not depends upon the gas which is present in that. Those many we have seen points are there in the atomic model. But in this anode rays, if we will see, definitely it will depends upon the gas, nature of the residual gas. Clearly, it was mentioned in our SCRT book. Clearly, once you observe that. Okay, but whatever the gas we are taking in that anode rays experiment, in anode rays, definitely these are the anode rays nature will depends upon the residual gas. But in case of depends. So directly we can choose as what a nature of the residual gas will be. Nature of the residual gas. Okay. after that. So one more question is here. Just different type of question will be, not the assertion reason model. This is the question. So many times it was asked in different competitive years. It will be IIT 82, 84, MSET 90, CBSE TMT will be 1997. It was asked. The question is what? Carbon monoxide has the same electrons as, or the ion that is isoelectronic with is CO. So go to this question, children. Once, what is the atomic number of carbon? It's 6 will be. Then the atomic number of oxygen will be 8. The total number of electrons, if we'll see in this carbon monoxide, CO will be 14. Why? Because 6 plus 8. Carbon is having 6 atomic number and oxygen is having 8 atomic number. Both are combining together carbon monoxide. We are having 14 electrons in that. The question is asking, that is isoelectronic, means iso means same. Electrons means number of electrons. Same number of electrons are present in which he is asking in the given. Okay. But before doing this question, everybody knows that plus it represents the deficiency of the electron and minus it represents what? Efficiency. That means increasing in number of electrons. We can say that. Okay, we'll see here N2 is there. N2 means nitrogen atomic number is 7. But how many nitrogens are there? 2 nitrogens are there. 2 nitrogens means we are having 14 electrons. 14, 1 plus will be there. So it represents 1 positive charge in the sense what? 1 deficiency. 14 minus 1 we will do. So we are getting 1 electron subtracting from the total number of electrons. So we are getting 13 electrons. But we are having in carbon monoxide, how many are there? Total 14 are there, but here 13. So it's not the option A will be. So CN, if we'll see, carbon is 6. We are having nitrogen is 7. So 7 plus 6, it will be what? How many? 13 are there. 7 plus 6 will be 13. And as well as what? One more electron. Efficiency of one electron. Adding of one electron. Gaining of one electron. So total 14 electrons are here. So there may be a chance of option is B. Another option, if we'll see, oxygen is 16 electron it contains. Why? Because atomic number of oxygen will be 8. And 8 plus 8, 16 will be there. So deficiency of losing of one electron represents 16 minus 1, it represents 15 will be. So it's not the right answer. It is 13, it is 14, and it is 15. So we are having as usual like what? A CO 14 and Cn minus is 14. Coming to O2 minus, oxygen is having total number of electrons are how many? 16 will be. 16 and efficiency of one electron, that is gaining of one electron represents what? 16 plus 1. So total 17. So clearly we can say that here it will be 13, 14, and it will be 15 and 17. But we want how many? CO means how many are there? 14 will be. So 14 will be equal to isoelectronic. Same number of electrons are present in Cn minus only. So because of that reason, directly we can choose the option is what? Cn minus, that is cyanide ion it will be. Okay. So isoelectronic, the cyanide ion is isoelectronic with a carbon monoxide. So many times. So this type of question, not only the same question will be repeated in the similar pattern, he may ask with different ions, with different atomic symbols, different atomic symbols with the positive, mono positive, mono negative, di negative, like that he can ask in a different pattern. It will. Okay, children. So this is one more question is here regarding what number of neutrons and number of protons, and as well as number of electrons. Topic based question it will be. So the question is what here? The nucleus of the element having atomic number 25. So may I know what is the number of atomic number 25? Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese. Might be manganese it will be. Okay. So is it manganese or not? Yes, it will be manganese only. Right. After that, the question is what he is asking. The nucleus of the element having atomic number 25. So the 25 atomic number element, he is asking as what? Weight is 55 will contain. So the atomic number is 25. That is 25 means manganese. And the weight of that particular element, what he has given, that is what? How much? 55 it contains. Okay. So, okay, 55, let it be. It's not a problem regarding that. So what he is asking right now, we'll see 25 protons it contains. So that element manganese or whatever X element is there, that contains how many number of protons and how many number of neutrons. That is based on the options we will have to choose. Okay, we know that everybody knows that atomic number is equals to the number of electrons and as well as number of protons. Yes or no? Yes, in an element only, but not a positively charged, not a negatively charged. Number of protons only we can say. Number of electrons in case of ion, we cannot say that Mn plus 2 does not contain same number of electrons. Why? Because loss of electrons we can observe there, Mn plus 2 if we have taken. No any ion given, because of that reason what? 25 is the atomic number, means number of protons also will be what? 25 only. So directly we can say that as what? 25 is the atomic number. Nothing but 25 protons will be present. So 25 protons are available in the option A only. But in B, 30 protons are there. So directly it is a wrong option. B will be. And 55 protons he has given. C is a wrong option. 55 neutrons he is given. Regarding the protons he is not given. So might be 55 neutrons we can expect. Except why? Because protons is not mentioned. So there might be, after calculation we can conclude it. D is a correct option or not. But B and C are completely wrong answers. Why? Because 30 protons is wrong answer. 55 protons is wrong answer. So we have in our hands only two options, that is A and D will be. So in this what? 25 protons we are already having, that is a correct one. And he is asking as what? 30 neutrons he is mentioned, 55 neutrons he is mentioned. How can we calculate the number of neutrons? We have the formula for number of neutrons. N is equals to A minus Z will be. What is A? 55 here. A is what? A 55. That is a mass number 55, and Z is the atomic number 25. If we will do the subtraction, A minus Z, that is 55 minus 25 is equal to number of neutrons. So the number of neutrons N is equals to 55 minus 25 equal to 30 neutrons. That we are having in the option of A clearly. So we can say that, children, 25 protons and as well as 30 neutrons. Already we have calculated how many number of, what is atomic number? That is equal to the number of protons. Atomic weight minus atomic number, A minus Z, 55 minus 20, that is equals to 30. That is what number of neutrons will be. So clearly we can say that 25 protons and 30 neutrons is the correct answer for the question what is given here. So in this manner we can calculate number of protons and the number of neutrons. How can we calculate number of electrons? Also we can calculate. If any, in the case of ion, he is asking for the electrons. Electrons will vary. Why? Because based on the charges, plus or minus, whatever we can have here. Okay, children. After that, the next question, if we'll see here. One more question regarding what models we have completed. Isoelectronic questions also get completed. One more question is asking what the most probable radius in picometers for the finding of the electron in He plus. He plus is this question is asked in AIMS 2005 clearly. So we have a formula regarding the most probable radius, finding of radius. That's what RMP. RMP nothing but what? Radius of most probable radius. Clearly it was mentioned. Most probable radius, RMP. Most probable radius will be 0.529 by Z. That's a formula we are using. So 0.529 is a constant that we will got, and what calculations in the theory it will be there. 0.529 by Z is the formula, and 0.529 as usual we have written 2. What is it will be? He helium atomic number is 2 will be the Z atomic number we are considering in Z will be. So because of that Z we are taking 2 will be. Why? Because helium atomic number is how much? 2. So because of that reason what we are getting 26.5. That's what 26.5 we are getting here. That's what the in picometers, whatever the in the given options is 0.0 is there, as well as 52.9 is there, 26.5 is there, 105.8 is there. So we got the answer is what? 26.5, which is the option of what? 26.5. So here we got 26.5 based on the formula. We are getting 26.5, and this is the formula we are going to use. What is that? 0.529 by Z. 0.529 is a constant already. We have that, and Z is an atomic number. Whatever the atom we are taking, that atomic number we will consider that. Based on that, we can calculate the most probable radius in a picometers. Okay, children. So tomorrow we will discuss next slides and next questions we will discuss. After that,